In the heart of the 19th century, a man emerged whose brushstrokes would forever change the course of art. His name was Vincent van Gogh, a man whose life was as turbulent as the skies he painted. Van Gogh's journey from obscurity to posthumous fame is a tale of passion, pain, and unparalleled creativity. Today we explore the life of this enigmatic artist, his unique themes, the struggles that shaped his work, and the masterpieces that continue to captivate the world. Born on March 30th, 3, in the small village of Zundert, Netherlands, Vincent Willem van Gogh was the son of a Protestant pastor and an artistically inclined mother. His early life was marked by deep sensitivity and an intense connection to nature. Though he tried various professions from art dealer to teacher, Van Gogh's true calling remained elusive until he found solace in art. After 7 years at a commercial art firm, Van Gogh's desire to help humanity led him to become a teacher, preacher, and missionary, yet without success. Working as a missionary among coal miners in Belgium, he began to draw in earnest. Finally, dismissed by church authorities in 1880, he found his vocation in art. By the age of 27, Vincent had decided to dedicate himself fully to painting. He moved to Belgium, where he studied at the Académie Royale des Beaux-Arts. Here he began to develop his distinctive style, which combined intense emotion with bold, expressive brushstrokes. But it was not just technical skill that drove Van Gogh. It was a deep, almost spiritual need to convey the raw essence of the world around him. Van Gogh created numerous iconic paintings throughout his career. Known for his vivid use of color and emotive brushwork, he produced over 2,100 artworks, including around 860 oil paintings. His struggles with mental health were also notable throughout his life. Some of his most famous works include The Potato Eaters, where he portrayed the harsh realities of peasant life with a somber palette, emphasizing the dignity and struggle of the working class. Van Gogh's art was deeply influenced by his surroundings and the people he encountered. This painting, initially rejected by critics, now stands as a testament to his ability to capture the human condition. Later, his famous Sunflowers series captured the vibrancy and impermanence of life, using bold yellows and thick, textured paint to create a sense of vitality that seemed to pulse off the canvas. In Arles, France, Vincent van Gogh found a yellow house that would become his artistic sanctuary. During this prolific period, he created some of his most iconic works, including The Bedroom in Arles, Irises, and the haunting Starry Night. Despite this creative burst, Van Gogh's time in Arles was marked by severe emotional turmoil and deteriorating mental health. His struggles with depression and psychotic episodes deeply influenced his art, resulting in swirling skies and fiery landscapes that reflect his inner battles. This period was also overshadowed by a tragic falling out with his friend Paul Gauguin, further adding to the intensity of his personal and artistic struggles. From the very beginning, Vincent was different. Born into a religious and middle-class family, he was a quiet, introspective child who found solace in nature and art. His father, a pastor, hoped Vincent would follow in his footsteps, but the young boy's heart was drawn to something deeper, something more elusive. Vincent was a dreamer, sensitive to the world's beauty and pain, but he struggled to find his place in it. As a young man, Vincent tried various careers, art dealer, teacher, and even preacher, but none seemed to fit. He was a restless soul, constantly searching for meaning and purpose, but finding only disappointment and rejection. It wasn't until his late 20s, after a series of personal failures and a deep spiritual crisis, that Vincent turned to art as a vocation. This was not merely a career choice. For Vincent, it was a lifeline, a way to express the tumultuous emotions that threatened to consume him. When Vincent decided to become an artist, he threw himself into his work with an intensity that bordered on obsession. He studied the works of old masters, practiced tirelessly, and began to develop a style that was uniquely his own, bold, expressive, and deeply emotional. His early works, like The Potato Eaters, were dark and somber, reflecting the harsh realities of peasant life. Critics dismissed them as crude and unpolished, but Vincent saw them as a tribute to the dignity and struggle of the working class. Van Gogh's self-portraits offer a fascinating glimpse into his inner world. Through these paintings, he explored themes of isolation, identity, and mortality. His use of bold colors and expressive brushwork reveals the depth of his emotional experiences. As Vincent's style evolved, so did his use of color. Moving away from the dark tones of his early work, he began to experiment with brighter, more vibrant hues. His paintings from this period, like the iconic sunflowers and irises, are bursting with life and energy, each brushstroke a testament to his love for the natural world. But behind these radiant colors lay a man struggling with inner demons. Vincent's time in Arles, France, was both a creative high point and a period of intense personal turmoil. Here he produced some of his most famous works, including The Bedroom, Café Terrace at Night, and The Night Café. His paintings from Arles are filled with swirling skies, vivid landscapes, and intimate interiors that reflect his emotional state, often serene, but just as often chaotic and troubled. His friendship with fellow artist Paul Gauguin, whom he admired greatly, ended disastrously, culminating in the infamous incident where Vincent, in a fit of despair, cut off part of his own ear. After the ear incident, Vincent voluntarily entered the Saint-Paul-de-Mosol Asylum in Saint-Rémy-de-Provence. It was a place of solitude and reflection, but also one of intense creativity. Despite his fragile mental state, Vincent's time in the asylum was remarkably productive. Surrounded by the serene yet haunting landscapes of Provence, he created some of his most celebrated works, including The Starry Night, a masterpiece that would later come to symbolize his troubled genius. The Starry Night is perhaps Vincent's most famous painting, a swirling vision of the night sky over Saint-Rémy that seems to pulse with energy and emotion. The stars and moon whirl across the canvas in a dance of light, while the dark, brooding cypress tree reaches upward, as if trying to touch the heavens. In this painting, Vincent captured the beauty and terror of his inner world, a place of both inspiration and madness. In May 1890, Vincent moved to Auvers-sur-Oise, near Paris, to be closer to his brother Theo. Under the care of Dr. Paul Gachet, Vincent continued to paint with feverish intensity, producing over 70 works in just a few months. But despite his prolific output, Vincent was increasingly tormented by feelings of failure and despair. On July 27, 1890, in a moment of deep anguish, Vincent shot himself in the chest. He died 2 days later, with Theo by his side, leaving behind a body of work that would only be fully appreciated after his death. Vincent van Gogh's life was marked by suffering and struggle, but his art has transcended time and space, touching the hearts of millions around the world. During his lifetime, he was largely unknown, selling only a handful of paintings and living in poverty. Yet today, his works are celebrated for their emotional depth, their vibrant use of color, and their ability to convey the complexities of the human spirit. Vincent's legacy is not just that of a great artist, but of a man who, despite his hardships, continued to create, to express, and to seek beauty in a world that often seemed indifferent to his pain. His story is a reminder that true art comes from the deepest parts of the soul, from a place of both suffering and joy, and that it is in our most vulnerable moments that we often create our greatest works. Vincent's legacy is not just that of a great artist, but of a man who, despite his hardships, continued to create, to express, and to seek beauty in a world that often seemed indifferent to his pain. His story is a reminder that true art comes from the deepest parts of the soul, from a place of both suffering and joy, and that it is in our most vulnerable moments that we often create our greatest works. Van Gogh's self-portraits offer a fascinating glimpse into his inner world. Through these paintings, he explored themes of isolation, identity, and mortality. His use of bold colors and expressive brushwork reveals the depth of his emotional experiences. Beyond his paintings, Van Gogh's letters to his brother Theo provide invaluable insights into his life and artistic journey. These letters reveal his passionate nature, his struggles with mental health, and his unwavering belief in his talent. Despite his dedication, Vincent's art failed to gain recognition during his lifetime. He was often lonely, misunderstood, and plagued by self-doubt. His brother Theo, who was his closest confidant and greatest supporter, provided both financial and emotional support. But even Theo couldn't shield Vincent from the relentless criticism and rejection that dogged his career. Yet through all the hardship, Vincent never stopped painting. For him, art was not just a passion, it was a necessity. a way to make sense of a world that often seemed chaotic and cruel. In his lifetime, Van Gogh sold only one painting and lived in poverty, haunted by feelings of failure. Yet today, his work is celebrated worldwide, hailed as some of the most profound and influential art ever created. The irony of his final recognition is bittersweet. While he never knew the extent of his impact, the world now treasures the genius that was overlooked during his life. The Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam, home to the largest collection of his works, stands as a tribute to his artistic legacy. Here, visitors can witness the evolution of his style, from the dark tones of The Potato Eaters to the vibrant, swirling energy of The Starry Night. Each painting tells a story, not just of the subject it depicts, but of the emotional landscape of the artist himself. Vincent van Gogh's life and work have inspired countless artists, musicians, and writers. In 1971, American singer-songwriter Don McLean immortalized Van Gogh in his poignant ballad, Vincent, also known as Starry, Starry Night. The song, filled with references to Van Gogh's paintings, delves into the artist's troubled mind and tragic life. McLean's haunting lyrics capture the beauty and sorrow of Van Gogh's existence, painting a vivid picture of a man who saw the world in a way few others could. Behind the vibrant colors and expressive brushstrokes of Vincent van Gogh's paintings lay a life marked by personal struggles and hardships. He battled mental illness throughout his life, experiencing episodes of psychosis and deep depression. These struggles often left him isolated and alienated, both from society and from his own family. His relationship with his brother Theo was one of the few constants in his life, providing him with emotional and financial support. The hundreds of letters they exchange reveal a man tormented by self-doubt, yet fiercely committed to his art. Van Gogh's family life was also challenging. His father, a strict clergyman, struggled to understand his son's artistic ambitions. Financial difficulties plagued the family, and Van Gogh often felt a sense of responsibility to provide for his loved ones. This pressure contributed to his personal anxieties and frustrations. Vincent van Gogh's personal life was marked by turbulence, particularly in his romantic relationships. His intense emotional nature and financial instability made it challenging for him to sustain lasting connections. Among his most significant relationships was with Margot Begeman, a neighbor who deeply loved him. Unfortunately, their relationship was fraught with difficulties, culminating in a tragic attempt by Margot to take her own life. This incident added to the series of heartbreaks and struggles in Van Gogh's life. Van Gogh's mental health issues and erratic behavior further complicated his personal and professional life. His struggles with depression and anxiety often alienated people, making it difficult for him to build lasting relationships and establish a reputation. These challenges also impacted his ability to effectively market and promote his work, contributing to the hardships he faced throughout his life. Despite his personal struggles, Van Gogh's determination to create art remained unshaken. His most famous works, including The Starry Night, Sunflowers, and Wheatfield with Crows, are not just artistic masterpieces, they are windows into his soul. The Starry Night, painted during his time in the asylum, reflects the chaos and beauty of his inner world, while Sunflowers captures his love for nature and the joy he found in simple, everyday beauty. Wheatfield with Crows, often considered his final painting, is a stark representation of his despair and sense of foreboding. Vincent van Gogh's life was a paradox, a man who created beauty from his pain, who saw the world with a unique intensity, and who continues to touch hearts through his art. His story is a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is light to be found. Though he left the world in anguish, his legacy shines brightly, immortalized in the masterpieces he left behind. Through his art and through songs like Vincent, Van Gogh's spirit lives on, forever etched in the fabric of time. Despite his personal challenges, Van Gogh's artistic genius shines through. His paintings offer a glimpse into the depths of his soul, revealing a man who, through his art, found a way to transcend his pain and leave a lasting legacy. Despite his immense talent, Vincent van Gogh struggled to gain widespread recognition during his lifetime. Several factors contributed to his obscurity. Van Gogh's bold colors, expressive brushstrokes, and unconventional subject matter were considered radical and avant-garde for his time. Many critics and art collectors were more accustomed to the traditional, academic styles that dominated the art world. Financial difficulties prevented him from achieving the recognition and success he craved. He often struggled to sell his paintings, relying on the support of his brother Theo for financial assistance. This lack of financial stability made it challenging for him to establish himself in the art world. Van Gogh's fearless exploration of the human condition, often through the lens of his struggles, has left a profound impact on modern and contemporary art. His willingness to confront the darkness within himself and express it on canvas paved the way for future generations of artists to explore themes of mental health, identity, and emotion. Van Gogh's legacy can be seen in the work of countless artists who have been inspired by his bold use of color, his emotional depth, and his unflinching portrayal of the human experience. From the vibrant Fauvist movement to the abstract expressionists of the 20th century, Van Gogh's influence continues to ripple through the art world, challenging artists to push the boundaries of creativity and self-expression. Vincent van Gogh's life may have been cut tragically short, but his art continues to live on, inspiring generations to see the world through his eyes. Eyes that, despite everything, never stopped seeking the beauty in life's imperfections. In the end, Van Gogh's life was a testament to the power of art to transcend pain and adversity. Though he may have been misunderstood in his time, his legacy lives on, a reminder that true genius often goes unrecognized until long after it is gone. Touched by Van Gogh's story? Share the inspiration, hit that like button, and subscribe to Chronicles of Timeless Tales. Together, let's unravel the lives of history's most extraordinary figures, one tale at a time.
Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day, with eyes that know the darkness in my soul. Shadows on the hills, sketch the trees and the daffodils, catch the breeze and the winter chills, in colors on the snowy linen land. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now. Starry, starry night, flaming flowers that brightly blaze, swirling clouds in violet haze, reflect in Vincent's eyes of china blue, colors changing hue. Morning fields of amber grain, weathered faces lined in pain, are soothed beneath the artist's loving hand. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now, or they could not love you. Till your love was true, and when no hope was left inside on that starry, starry night, You took your life as lovers often do. But I could have told you, Vincent, this world was never meant for one as beautiful as